Once upon a time, there were multiple assassin organizations in Japan. The JAA emerged as the most powerful thanks to government collusion. Journalists, scholars, activists who criticized the government, powerful opposition candidates, members of the ruling party who stirred up controversy, and bureaucrats and law enforcement officers who learned too much about state secrets. The government used the JAA to dispose of all of those elements. Damn. We're getting the real nitty-gritty here, aren't we? In exchange, the JAA received exorbitant subsidies and privileges. They were funded by defense money, classified public security spending, funds transferred under the guise of official development assistance, and dark money from corporations in bed with the government. Thus, the JAA evolved into a legal, government-sanctioned assassin organization. So that's how the world of assassins became so real in Japan. This is literally like why everything is the way it is, why there's assassins roaming everywhere, why it's just ordinary for people to get assassinated. The JAA quite literally became a way for the ruling party of the government to keep tabs on everybody, make sure everything ran the way that they wanted it to, and make sure they were always in control. And anyone that opposed them or got too close, they just had the JAA kill them. Oh yeah, they were conspiring against us. We had to take them out. But killing begets dependency. At first, the government used the JAA for its own purposes. But before long, it became dependent on the JAA and ended up bending to the JAA's will. Yep, exactly. You put too much power in people's hands, look what happens. In other words, take over the JAA, and you've got the government in the palm of your hand. You put way too much power in the JAA, and then they were able to usurp everything because you depended on them so much that they're like, hey, you know what? We'll kill you now. We're calling the shots this time. But it's functioning just fine as is, right? What do you want to achieve by breaking the status quo? Nothing. I just want to break it. It's up to the people to fix. Workers' revolution, but the workers are assassins. Jesus. Uzuki's literally like the guy on Twitter, like, you know what? Capitalism's working as intended. The system's working as intended, guys. We have to break the system. It's up to the people to fix it. And you know what? As much of a progressive as I am, for Uzuki, like, it's also just so fucking poetic for Carolina Reaper to be like, hey, you know what? Like, cool, let's break the status quo. What are we gonna do after that? Uzuki's like, I don't fucking know. Let everybody else figure it out. Like, if that isn't the most real shit right here, I'm sorry, I'm on my soapbox again. It's up to the people to fix it. What is that? An actual head? Eek! How horrible. Are they hijacking the airwaves? What do they mean by a reborn JAA? Excuse me for not introducing myself. He's on his Heath Ledger Joker timing. I'm known as X. I have a message for the people of Japan. I'm not used to public speaking, so I'm a bit nervous. There are assassins in Japan. Damn, just fucking revealing everything. Counting the amateurs, there are around 10,000. Just under 400 are professionally licensed by the JAA, which is crazy, by the way, that there's that many unlicensed assassins running around. They live secretly among us. Perhaps you know some. Presiding over them is an organization called the Japanese Assassin Association. We assassins have operated in silence, spilling our blood for unmentionable causes, and keeping the order of the underworld. But are you people really worthy of protection? Are you worth staking our lives for? I no longer know. Once upon a time, I used to want to create a world in which kind-hearted people could live kind-hearted lives. But then I realized the fundamental truth. Goodness is an illusion maintained by society's most privileged. Violence is at the core of every human. I'll leave the proof to you. What's he planning to say? They say that on average, people have a serious desire to kill another person 3 times over the course of their lives. I'll provide every citizen of this country with a gun and 3 bullets. Bro is just enacting the purge. What? Use them however you wish. There will be no criminal penalties. You may be wondering if this is even possible. I brought someone here to explain it to you. There's the Prime Minister. What do you know? Citizens of Japan, as your Prime Minister, I hereby confirm that what this man is saying is true. What? The Prime Minister? For real? Is this some kind of stunt? This group already has control over all of our infrastructure. Communications, electricity, logistics, Finance, they've already procured 124,500,000 guns. Damn, those had a contract with the United States. They will create a new order ruled by power, not by law. The government will cooperate with the new JAA to establish a new nation. Shut up now or die. I love how she was like, all right, you said enough. We get it. Die now. Shut up. What, they got fucking Akira running the YouTube channel now? I thought Akira was trying to kill X. What? Hold on. Wait, there are 8,000 comments on the live YouTube broadcast. I'll respond to a few. Akira, select the ones from Japan. What the f? I got Akira running the social media accounts. What? Fully Ripe Machi Man says, how will you distribute the guns? We will establish distribution centers at JA locations throughout Japan. Bring your individual number card to the location in your area on the designated day. Borders on some Senator Armstrong logic. Yeah, definitely. Party Fatso says, you have no right to involve innocent citizens in your terrorist activities. Nobody is innocent. Just by living within this country's system, you are complicit. He literally is like, but you live in society. He goes, interesting, so you live in society, so... Kill Baby, no, not Kill Baby, no, Kill Baby the goat. Says, I don't understand the rules. The intellectual inferior have no need to understand. Damn, he said, all right, if you're dumb, sucks, bro. Jesus. Very soon, all of this country's preconceived ideas will crumble. Japan will become an elective society. You will decide whether you live, die, or kill. Even if you've lived a life divorced from violence, this hell will descend mercilessly upon you. Damn, Lu Xiaotang fucking cameo. Look at that. Who's that character? Haven't seen her in years. The Heian era, but with blickies. Welcome to complete freedom and complete disorder. But if what emerges is a society based on kindness, then the world you imagined is waiting, Rion. I don't know if that's how you get a society again. This is just going to divulge into pure chaos. I don't know how bro expects kindness to come out of that. There you have it. From now on, the new JAA will lead the government. So this was X's real objective. So it seems like Uzuki basically lied to people like Kashima. He basically was playing everybody. You know, he talked this big game about wanting to create this world where no one had to be assassins anymore and no one had to kill each other anymore. And he wanted to make, you know, a good world and, you know, make a world that Rihanna Cow and him would have been able to live peacefully in. But realistically, all this guy did was just start a revolution, a chaotic revolution. Izuki's finally feeling like a villain again and got his aura back. I mean, sheesh. Bro takes out a Saki and immediately crumbles the status quo of the country. Do you think the next chapter would be a time skip? I mean, the big thing is that we don't know what will happen to Sakamoto and pals in the prison. Oki and the Order is, they basically have them at gunpoint, even though they don't have them at quote unquote gunpoint. They have their weapons at them and they can't really move. They're surrounded by powerful foes. That's confirmed that even with Shin's new ability to increase his physical stature with his, you know, mental commands, and Sakamoto being able to, you know, try and do his best to keep up with Torres, they're just outgunned, outmanned, outnumbered in that situation. If we do go to a time skip, it's possible Sakamoto could be imprisoned, or I think someone has to break in and help them escape. Because if outright chaos is just going to unfold in all of the world and no one is safe, Sakamoto's family is in prime danger. Lu is not going to be able to protect any of these motherfuckers unless Suzuki has full plans of bringing Lu back into the fold with this arc. It's quite possible that by having, you know, Lu and Aoi show up watching this broadcast as they're talking about, you know, even if you lived a life divorced from violence, this hell will descend upon you. It's possible Lu will have no choice but to fight again. Lu has been taken out of the story for so long. Maybe this is Suzuki being like, don't worry, we're going to bring these guys back. Listen, Nagumo, we know Yotsumura might still be in the picture here. It's possible Nagumo always knew this was coming, right? Nagumo was, you know, playing, you know, dirty from the very beginning. We knew Nagumo had suspicious things about him. We knew Nagumo was doing things behind the Order's back. Maybe this is why. Maybe Nagumo never trusted Oki to begin with. Maybe Oki was always a fucking slime. But even this page alone shows that Uzuki never planned to build the world that Kashima envisioned he would. Because here we have Gaku, Haruma, Carolina Reaper, Club Jam, all of these characters that were are basically either dead or in prison. So this is early in the beginning portion of Uzuki's start as a villain. So Uzuki was always having this goal from the beginning, and I think that's the biggest thing going forward that we learn in this lore dump, is that Uzuki, despite all of his preaching and all of the things that he talked about the whole series, he never truly had any plan for what would come about after he destroyed the JAA and broke the status quo. And he's hoping that the people and humanity left to their own devices, left to basically the purge scenario, whatever comes out of that society is the dominant society. He views that whatever comes out of this revolution is true human nature. If society divulges into absolute chaos and madness and it's just outright revolution and chaos, then that was always humanity's default nature. If out of this, as someone mentioned before, that so much of this violence and so much of the pressure and power put in these people's hands ends up creating a more empathic society, then that was always meant to be humans' true nature. It's literally like some people, the aggressive people are going to kill, the scared people are going to hide, the righteous people are going to try and hunt down the people that are slaughtering others. Sure, you get a gun with 3 bullets, but what stops you from killing someone else with 3 bullets and getting 6 bullets? What stops you from stockpiling bullets? And this could just create a new evil society where the people with the most bullets have the most power. You know, what happens with if you're in, like, let's say a witness protection program or some kind of thing, and one person pulls all of the guns together, you don't have any of your guns, and the one guy has all the guns and all the bullets, and he literally just runs an underground cult because he's the only one that can kill everybody. You know, like, there are so many issues that can come out of this, and so many exploitative problems and organizations and just bad things, just bad things that can come out of Uzuki's revolution here. And again, you can really see how little he's thought about this and how little he cares about what ends up happening to society, just based on how little direction and foresight he's put into this. He really just wants to put human nature to the test, which brings us back to the Stone Age, literally, just with higher power and more guns. Now, the thing is like this whole goodness is an illusion maintained by society's most privileged. Like, yes, the idea of society, the idea of civilization, the idea of being kind to one another, being empathetic, being sympathetic, yeah, it's a privileged view, but we as a world have built ourselves up to gain this privilege. Not everybody, unfortunately, has this privilege. There are, of course, third world nations. There are, you know, literal islands that have never seen the light of day or society. But for the most part, for the first world, yes, like we have struggled, we have pushed and progressed. Goodness, politeness, and like the social contract, as it's called, is a thing that has developed and keeps people in line. We have built the social contract that we have for a reason, because we all need to abide by it, and that helps us all as humanity progress. By immediately demolishing the social contract, bringing everybody back to zero, giving everybody a gun with 3 bullets and saying, hey, kill everyone if you want, there's no laws, just everyone just do whatever you want. If people don't have a social contract, there's no reason for them to stick by it. If people aren't going to be held for their crimes, not everybody is going to follow through. You know, it's limiting freedoms for the safety of everyone. Like, there is, like, yes, not every single person is a madman killing machine. Not every single person is going to take that gun and kill the person to their left, right? Like, there are people that are going to go, nah, I don't want to do that. But the thing is there are people that will. And in order to make sure that society is safe for the people that aren't going to mass slaughter everyone, we have to heavily make sure that the people that are willing to mass slaughter everyone aren't going to do that. Like, survival of the fittest sounds great to the people that can survive in the fittest. Survival of the fittest does not sound great to people that can't survive in the fittest. Uzuki's plan is just going to lead to more violence. If Uzuki chooses to see this and goes, actually, I was wrong, I could actually even see that as an opportunity for him to grow if he loses in the end. You really see how little Uzuki has thought about this when he says nobody is innocent just by living within this country's system. You are complicit, which shows that, like, he is of the mentality that no one is innocent. No one, not a single person in this country, not even the babies that are born, they all have sins that they can be held accountable for. which like is a mentality that like I had at like the age of 15. And we all kind of, you know, I feel like we all need to grow past that kind of mentality at a certain point. But you know what? It is what it is, you know. Uzuki was stunted. He has every reason to believe that what he's doing makes sense. But I truly believe that this is a betrayal of what everything Rion would have wanted. And the fact that Akira is falling for it as well in this case shows just how like someone's main philosophy can become bastardized over time completely. Welcome to complete freedom and complete disorder. But if a society based on kindness emerges, then the world you imagined is waiting. Instead of working towards creating that world of kindness, Uzuki takes the easy route and says, hey, everyone do what you want. If the world of kindness comes out, then it was always meant to be. If not, sucks. With the reveal of everything that Uzuki plans to do for the world and how dangerous this can be for not just the average man, but Sakamoto's family, everyone that Sakamoto wants to keep. At first, it was Sakamoto couldn't even return to his family because the order could hurt him. But now, not just the order is after his family, the whole world could be after his family. And this is clearly entering what might be the final arc of Sakamoto days. This is clearly X's, you know, final gamble. Either way, I don't know what this story holds going next. Genuinely speaking, I don't know what could possibly be happening after this. It is all up in the air, and you know what? That's kind of how almost every single citizen of Sakamoto Days Japan feels. They don't know what the hell is gonna happen next. But I will definitely 100% be here next chapter, because while this chapter was very quick, it helps establish what was already put forth last chapter. And now again, my biggest concern is how the hell are we getting out of this one, guys? That is always going to be my biggest concern, but we're just gonna have to wait and see till next week, honestly.